There we go. Sweet, sweet, sweet.
Good morning.
Hey, what's
Good
going
afternoon.
on? Well, morning, sign afternoon. We just crossed over, so I'll permit it. How you doing, man?
Doing all right.
Oh, how's your weekend? I'm assuming you're on the weekend.
Yes, it is still Saturday.
Oh, thank goodness.
At least I think it's Saturday.
Yeah,
I don't know.
man,
My schedule's mixed up.
Dude, it's like, is it 2020 yet? And I joke that because one day I'm gonna watch this live stream archive and be like, oh my gosh, how time has flown. Oh man, what are you playing the game right now? Are you you playing anything?
I'm on 14, just finally trying to craft all my tools to get ready for next patch.
Yeah, that's smart.
Because I am responsible for obtaining my own gear in any way possible.
Yeah, well, it's the cheapest way. Ideally, if you were able to craft and gather and I'm completely self-sufficient. That way, if like markets are like charging absorbent rates, you can be like, nope. Let's see here. I'm gonna do some roulettes, do some Dragoon. That's my plan. Let's see here.
Yeah, because I need to get the crafted gear in order to do some week 1 savage raiding.
And it'll be neat to see if they do the same kind of upgrade that they did with this last one, where you could upgrade the crafted gear, as well. I thought that was really quite fascinating.
I think that's probably gonna come around like 4.5 or something.
And that would make sense to when they could do that as an option. But I like that.
Yeah.
Because I always kind of felt like the game kind of funnels you into one direction, and I was like, oh, it'd be nice if it, if there's a huge amount of variety of ways that you can.
Upgrading the gear that way is, I find it a cheaper alternative. Because when you upgrade the gear that way, you also lose the benefit of overmelting.
All right. And why is it? Didn't lose focus? There it goes. Split. Do another 8.
Wait, why am I getting this node? I don't even need this node.
Can I do stacks of 999 now?
I believe they have to do that for most things.
Okay, it's not everything then. Because I was trying to stack these kind of these silver coins together, and I was like, nope. All right. Okay, 3,800. Inventory. Split. And I'll go I think 5. It's probably too much, but either way. Yeah, just slightly. No big deal. Cool. There we go. The weekly Domain Enclave quest is done. Perfect. Okay, now...
I have not been keeping up my Domain Enclave ever since I just dropped Eureka. Because that's
so did you did you cap in it, or are you just done with it?
Eureka, it's probably gonna be like an afterthought or something.
That's how I think a lot of people have kind of
like once I'm like capped out with the other stuff, maybe I'll jump into Eureka, because I do like the final form of the Zodiac and Anima weapon, so I'm curious to see what the final form of the Eureka weapon is.
Yeah, I totally hear you.
Yeah. If the glamour is good, it might be worth getting for, because I am really into glamour.
Yeah.
Also, when it reaches its final form, it'll also be best in slot.
I'm not the best tweeter. Like, see people like, oh yeah, go live, da da da, tagging people, all kinds of stuff. I'm like, oh, maybe I should tweet. Like, what's happening? Let's see, and bam. Cool. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Sweet. And let me go ahead and bring out the fairy. Felt like I could play around with Scholar. Do some of this. Oh yeah, I turned off. I was like, I'm not getting any sound effects. That's because I turned them off. Everybody got. Let my fairy do its thing. Let my fairy do its thing, man. I was playing with the Black Ops 4 blackout mode last night. I had a blast. I think it's the first Call of Duty game that I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. Since Modern Warfare 2. You ever play any of the Call of Duties?
The one and only Call of Duty I ever played was Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, that was the last one I played. I was like, alright, I'm done. Let's see here, I'll pop this back on.
I mean, yeah, I had some fun playing Modern Warfare 2. It was a good, yeah, it was like a good first Call of Duty game. No, wait, I have played World at War on the Wii.
I played the WW2 one with friends. You know, for the guys' night thing that we kind of, not guys' night, but game night that we kind of do on Wednesday nights, and it's like that was good. It was really disturbing. Like the audio director did a fantastic job because it just sounded like it made it sound like at least the movies, like the horrors of war, etc. But yeah, we were playing a little Blackout last night, which is their battle royale kind of edition, and I loved it. I loved it. I thought I had more fun in that than I've had in a battle royale for a while now, which was exciting. And you know, the one thing I am looking forward to having all these skills is I get eye for an eye back, because I never take eye for an eye.
Well, I don't necessarily play healers unless I have to, so I wouldn't know things on that end.
Well, it's like for the Scholar, because they got the spread, I can spread Galvanize and eye for an eye out to everybody.
Yeah,
and it's really handy. Like, I've kind of been debating on just kind of returning to the Scholar, because like pretty much like I haven't been. I mean, maybe in the raids or something like that, but I've been playing it, and it's like okay, like you know, if I don't feel like tanking, and I feel more like passively DPSing and being a backup healer, then I go Scholar. So that's what I'm doing now.
Let's see. I am going from Paladin to Dark Knight for the next tier, so that means
nice.
I will be getting Convalescence and Anticipation as new cooldowns. I got Ultimatum for an extra taunt.
You get all of them.
Yep. I'm just going off of what I don't currently have on equipped.
Yeah.
I will always have Energetic, so I have no excuse not to have it for mechanics like Ultros in 07 Savage, which is something like my static keeps joking on because I always forget to bring it if I ever take it off, which led to me just always leaving it on my hotbar.
Yeah, I ended up just leaving them on the hotbar. I'm gonna be like updating all my controller guides because it's like, okay, yeah, now you have all of the skills.
And as far as tanks go, there are skills that you need, and then there are skills that are just situational.
Yeah.
And like, you'll always need Rampart, Reprisals, a Godsend, you'll always need Provoke. Awareness just prevents any surprises, but you can get away without having it. I've never come across a situation where I ever needed Ultimatum.
I've never come across a situation where I've ever needed Shirk.
Yeah, well, Shirk is mandatory in
it's mandatory because people don't know how to tank. Harsh words. Like I've never needed it. But it was like, you don't have Shirk. It's like, we don't need it. And then we don't. And it's like, they're like, oh my gosh, you're right. Like, yeah.
And if there's any tank swaps in a fight, Shirk is absolutely mandatory.
No, it's not mandatory at all, but it helps. But like on tank swaps, never needed it. I can get and I can maintain it, and the tanks that I usually work with haven't had a problem either. Now it is as a nice little backup. Totally here with you, and I get that there's the general meta that people think is necessary, but the meta's wrong. You just need to, people just need to get good.
Yeah, like if you're trying to like clear stuff week 1 and where DPS checks are harsh, that's when Shirk is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, because you also don't know like what do I need to hear here. It's like I'm not arguing against people who want to take it. I'm just like I'm arguing against when people feel forced like you have to do this. It's like okay, like let's challenge that idea. I might stand here. That. But yeah, that's the other thing. Like I'm interested to see what happens with and if we go what kind of system we decide to go, what they decide to go with 5.0 because we're getting all these skills back. Does that mean cross roll skills are dead and then we're just gonna I don't know what are we gonna see in 5.0? I'm excited for whatever it ends up being.
I think like the thing I'm most looking forward to with the having every crossroll is DPS not having the excuse of not taking Shirk or Diversion.
Right. Well, there's no. It's just you have all of them. It's gonna be neat to see how that kind of lays itself out. So have you read any of the kind of the more translated stuff from the live letter?
Not necessarily. I did.
The way it's translated, it kind of seems for me to allude that we could actually be on the precipice of the calamity. That it might not be 6.0, it could be 5. Like that's just how it reads to me. So we need to see how the next 2 patches go.
I think like my favorite thing from the patch notes was just seeing people react to the second duty action.
Yes.
Some people speculate that it's going to be a thing in one of the upcoming raid tiers.
It would make sense if it was.
Yeah, others say that it's going to be part of the new logo system, which I can see that.
Yeah, it would fit there. Where it's like switch roll. I'm like, oh.
I'm thinking it's more like whatever role that the logo system has you on it. That's what the duty action corresponds to.
Yeah. How you doing, Midnight? How you doing today? Everybody gets a galvanize. Currency for the week. Yeah, I'm definitely wanting to get some more of that mendacity, so that way I can try to gear up as quickly as possible. So I want to get into Savage with 4.4. The problem with 4.2 is I ended up getting so busy with work by the time that it's like, oh, I have free time. Everybody's like, oh, we're done.
For a casual static, my recommendation is 2 days a week. Set aside 2 hours for each of those days,
yeah.
and that's when you go to Savage.
That's a good strat, man.
It's like, yeah, you're not taking away too much of your week by doing 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll probably progress at like a sort of leisurely pace. As for me and my static, we raid 3 days a week
nice.
for 2 hours, so a total of 6 hours. Although we are adding an extra hour for the first week just to learn the new raid tier.
I'm excited about this new raid. I always like the new raids and stuff like that. Puts the gear collection higher. Just shared post SBMSQ. What? Just started. Oh, cool. Just started the post Stormblood MSQ. Very nice, man. Congrats, Midnight. Getting yourself. You'll be ready. You'll be ready. I mean, in the sense that that you can be.
For this next raid here, I'm hoping that the difficulty curve isn't as bad as what between 06 and 07 was.
Oh yeah?
Because when 05 was, I feel like, definitely a really good starting point for the raid tier. It was modestly difficult, but not too punishing, I would say. 06 was arguably easier, because it's just it is pretty much just a glorified striking dummy. And like, you got your confidence up in 06, and then 07 comes around, just smacks you down to the ground. Because that's how punishing it was. So yeah, I'm just hoping that the difficulty gap isn't gonna be that bad between, I guess,
I'm thrilled just for Uzanar.
10 and 11.
I'm just thrilled for the Uzanar thing, dude. Like, that looks like a ton of fun. That looks like something that I can just lose myself in for at least a couple of weeks, you know?
Yeah, I like the concept of it.
It's almost like a boss rush mode, you know? It's like, and it's almost to the point where it's like, why can't they do that with same thing with leaves? You know? It's like...
It's boss rush with added roulette wheel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. But it's like, that could be like, I mean, I could see that same concept being done with just leaves. Like, okay, you got these special leaves, and literally we're gonna throw boss after boss after boss at you until you fail. And it's all the bosses and stuff just for fun are obviously at level, your level cap. And then you can decide if you want to go 4-man, like, and then it should take into account like the number of people. So it's like, maybe it's like we design it for 4, but if you bring 8, we're gonna scale up the difficulty a little bit, give them, give the enemy more HP and because obviously it's built for 4. So I don't know.
I figured they could do something like that for a sort of new dungeon formula rather than you fight. There's like there's 3 bosses, and in between each boss you fight a trash mob.
Yeah, that's kind of the formula for the 4-man, since that's the needs to get a little bit more refreshed.
Yeah, they are due for tuning up the 4-man dungeon.
Yeah, I think they should just, like, you know, it's been the problem though. I see it mentally from a design perspective has been solved in so much that you just go and say, hey, check it out, like, you know, dynamic difficulty. Like, we have all these dungeons. Put them at level cap, and every time you beat it, let the monsters level up. Who cares if you're fighting level 100 mobs at some point? Like, you know, cool, good for you. Go as far as you can go. You know, it's gonna change your strategy and approach. Miguel has subscribed on YouTube. Welcome, Miguel. Thanks for hitting that sub button. Yeah.
And yeah, I like this. Just see them like, okay, here's a full, like something like the what they're doing for Canals of Uznia as just like a dungeon. Okay, here's a pool of bosses. You're gonna fight 3 of them at random.
That'd be cool. Like, and then like, I mean, imagine just like all of a sudden it's like they spawned Alexander. Oh no, yeah, it's like, oh man, you know, like let it really go. Have some fun and random. That's what I'm excited. Like, what bosses could it be? You know, if like raid bosses and stuff like that pop in this, that is gonna be epic. You know, and it's like, obviously I think it'd be tuned to, like they say, to 4-man, so it's like, okay, you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Kind of like if you ever played WoW, like Violet Hold, I think it was, which was a dungeon, which was essentially just a prison break.
Yeah.
Where you go in, there's like a pool, there's a pool of bosses, each in their own cage. You fight off some waves of trash, and then every once in a while, someone goes and unlocks one of the cells, and that's the boss you fight, and it's chosen at random.
That's cool. I don't know, like, I personally, as a healer, I really enjoy, like, being able to output DPS from time to time. Obviously, it's not my first priority, but I can't understand the, like, I'm a healer, I only heal kind of mentality. I'm like, from a boring perspective. I get it from a lore perspective, or from a, you know, kind of, this is my personal choice, and I respect that, but from an enjoyment of the game, like, and that's just because I'm just like, all right, what are you doing when everybody's good, especially as they gear up? Like, if we were all like epically geared in this dungeon right here, and it's like no one's taking damage, everybody's doing great, like, all right, like, what am I doing?
You should probably talk to some of the raid healers, because they all got interesting stories to tell. And yeah, and being in a static, and overhearing just people talking about what they're doing, you can actually it's really fun to listen to the healers talk about, okay, I'm like, who's placing this heal at this time?
Yeah.
What mitigations are we doing? Who's responsible for healing this phase? Yeah, and so on and so forth. It is just really fun just listening in, figuring out stuff, and see how it goes.
No, that's good way. Oh, why am I doing that? Alright, monkey time. Oh, red mage is down.
Trying to think, what was the last dungeon boss that really wowed me?
It's fun. They did a good job on this one.
Yeah, the monkey's definitely a fun fight, particularly because, yeah, during the second phase, you can't just focus down one.
Yeah. Yeah, and then yeah, you gotta split the damage. Hope he doesn't think I've got rescue.
The last dungeon boss that really stood out to me, I think, was the one in the Bardom Steppes, I think it was called.
Mm-hmm.
Where the second boss
is basically Mario Party.
Mechanics only.
Yeah, just mechanics. Pure and simple.
Yeah. I like the idea behind it. I just wish that they incorporated a little more randomness and unpredictability to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bart's Metal Mini.
Yeah.
Because once you do it a few times, kind of like, okay. And yeah, that part kind of gets stale, much like Byaku's quote-unquote bullet hell phase. It's cool the first few times, but then it gets stale.
There it is. Cool. Hey, what's up, Dark Lantern? How you doing, dude? Howdy, howdy. Oh, yes. Yes. All right, I'm gonna switch to Dragoon. Currency. Actually, the trials don't count towards the feeling lucky thing, right?
Which one was feeling lucky?
Let me just pull it up and see if I can't. Challenge log, feeling lucky. Okay, I'm gonna go challenge log. Not dungeons. Feeling lucky. Complete 3 dungeons. Okay, dungeons then. I'm gonna do a trial because I want. Oh, healer in need. Perfect. Perfect. I want to get to doing some more dragon questing. Do you play Dragon Quest Sim?
Nope, because I no longer have the time, because I have to prioritize what games I play and college work.
Adulting and video games? I hear you. I hear you, dude. I'm loving it though. Yeah, because it's like that's kind of where it's like people are like, oh, you can go back and play Destiny Forsaken, and it's like, I said, oh yes, like if you guys want to pick a night out of the week, or whatever, and we want to commit that's what we're gonna do on that night, and that's what you guys want to do, I'm in. But I'm not just gonna like okay, I'm playing Dragon Quest XI. I'm really excited about Soul Calibur, and then I just was playing with the Call of Duty game, and I was like, it is really good, it's fun, and I was like, okay, let's figure out what that is, what that looks like, and let's do that, because I don't have, unfortunately, thousands of hours to commit to thousands of games, Love the music. I'm really happy that we got Byaku. Not Byaku, it's not Byaku. Right?
That is Byaku.
That is Byaku, sorry, it's like, man, I haven't fought him in a long time. Jade Stoa, baby.
I am pretty much done fighting Byaku. I've got the 99 totems. I have no reason to go back. Yeah, and I've been over the quote-unquote cutscene phase that many times and more.
something I've noticed with...
Whoa, what's up, Midnight? He's joining in, voice. Hey.
Yeah,
no, you're good.
I'm a little bit busy.
Yeah, I hear you.
Dungeon. But, yeah, something I've noticed with the people that generally do the more hardcore statics where they go every week for hours a week, multiple times a week, they tend to burn out faster than anyone else.
Mm-hmm. Well, doing the same thing over and over and over again, that's where it's like, I don't know. I'd like to see a little bit of variety.
Fair enough.
But then also, I'm the type of player I am in Stormblood is severely different from what it was in Heavensward. Because in Heavensward, we didn't start the channel until like mid. Hey, what's up, Matt? If you're online right now, dude, let's get you at it. See here, and 1 second. Let me focus. The type of player that I am now is so different from what it was, because I would never have leveled all the jobs that I've been doing if it wasn't that people really got a lot out of the controller guys. And I was like, well, I didn't have to do that really in Heavensward. I mean, so there's definitely a difference in who and how I play now. Not that's a bad thing, but it's just different.
You from burning out as quickly.
I guarantee it. And that's where a lot of people are like, "Is it burnout?" It's like it feels a lot different from when I have in the past burned out from various games. I think it's just a matter that that's the problem. So I was talking with Sin earlier. I don't know if you were hanging out in voice at the time, but it ended up being where it's like my worry is that I'm putting pressure and expectation where there shouldn't be, and that comes down into is 5.0 the calamity. And some of the stuff that they were kind of alluding to in the unofficial translation from the stream after the fact, talking about Ascians, talking about the calamity, talking about some of these things, and it's like my whole kind of disappointment in Stormblood is it just feels like they're working on something big, and if they're not working on something big, I'm really concerned, because then all of a sudden that means they're actually having, I would say, problems with the development. And so my hope is that it's big. My fear is that I'm hoping it's big. It doesn't end up being big, and then it's like, and then I put I can only control my expectations. I'm trying to temper that so that way I'm not sitting here going oh my god, 5.0 is going to solve all of my problems. It's like no. But I want there's things that I want. And I'm like, all right, is it now the time? Anyway. Cutscene.
Understandable.
Yeah, so. What do you think, Midnight? Do you think 5.0 is going to be a calamity?
I'm not sure.
If we're going to take bets, what do you think what would we think the odds would be?
If I'm going to make a bet, I'd say 6.0.
That seems like the most reasonable. I give you that for sure, and that's actually what I said in my video. It's like, I think 6. That seems to where it's like, if 5.0 is the night, if you look at kind of a day-night cycle, ARR is the morning, Heavensward's the day, Stormblood's the evening, 5.0 is the night, and then what follows nighttime? A new day. What's up, Zero?
Based off of what they've already done, I have evidence to say that 6.0 would be the calamity.
It makes sense, right?
Look at the end of Heavensward, including the Dragon Song War. It leads directly into Stormblood with a nice, neat package of a massive cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Shinryu or whatever. Now tell me, if they concluded Shinryu, or they didn't add Shinryu to the end of Heavensward's Dragon Song, would it be as big of a deal?
I don't think so.
So,
but it was definitely fitting.
It's fitting for sure. But this is what makes me think that when it comes down to it, it's going to be right at the end.
It's got to be big.
It starts that at the end of the 5.0 thing. that's when the calamity happens. Like, right at the end, you're seeing the very beginning of it, and then you see what's happening of it in 6.0.
That's true. I mean, that could be something, like, that's where I think, like, yeah, 5.0 is just one, like, system failure after, like, another, like, kind of thing. Like, okay, Ulda's gone, you know, like various, things have to fail. Namely, the Azorian Alliance would have to be destroyed, It'll be interesting to see because, like, from the Empire, well, from the Empire's perspective, like, let's say, like, we keep winning and winning and winning. So the concept of the light going on, the thing is that people have the most, like, the most violent acts occur, like, usually at the end of an Empire's life cycle, or, like, even in business, like, they'll take the most risks, they'll do the most off the wall thing.
Have to destroy the Alliance.
Well, I'm saying, like, if at a calamity level. I don't know. I mean, you don't have to, but it just seems that it would be interesting to see.
Easier way to.
Okay, go ahead. I'm curious.
Take out the leadership of the Alliance and replace them.
Okay, exactly.
Like, if somebody corrupt takes their place,
or if somebody is already corrupt. I don't know. I don't think there is. I like the characters, but I mean,
yeah,
who's to say one isn't
but...
an Ascian?
Yeah, and also.
Oh no.
This. The fact is, look at King Thorin. He thought he was doing the right thing.
That's the best villain. That's the best villain. Like, that's where it's, like, actually, like, outside of the fact that at the end of the Griffin's life, he's in here, like, he gives that evil expression, and that's the only thing that annoyed me, because at the end of the day, like, he is the hero of his story. He basically, with the exception of the fact that kind of forcing us into war, is right. We can't let, why are we just letting the Empire exist up here? So he had to force that, which is what, which essentially Ulda kind of ignored these refugees, right? They were just like, whatever. And so it's like you have this population that's just growing frustrated and frustrated and frustrated. That's why I think Ilseberd was a good villain. And that's why the best villains, I think, are the ones that essentially have righteous indications, right? Like, they're not wrong in their objective; they're wrong in their method, right? To where all of a sudden, like, the schism, the problem within the Alliance is that in the drama for the hero, I'm frozen, ends up being that it's like you end up having to pick this, I don't know, you're left with an impossible decision. There's no good choice. And it'd be neat to see if they let us make it, and then that essentially kind of defines our story through 5.0 or for whatever the calamity is, right? Like, maybe we picked wrong.
There's all kinds of possibilities, but think about this. I learned this interesting tidbit when I finished the White Mage job quest today. By law, Padules are taken into the Conjurer's Guild away from their parents.
Who's taken into the...
The Padules. Anyone born a Padule?
Oh, it's taken from their parent?
Yeah, without their parents' say.
Huh.
That's Gridanian law.
Interesting. I don't. It's been a long time since I've done the quest line, so I don't remember. So Zero saying I would level of DPS classes, but hate waiting on queues. That's why I tank it. That's why I've actually really enjoyed tanking and healing, because especially as a somebody who can play for maybe 1 or 2 hours, kind of in the span of that. Like, I don't have time to wait for 30 minutes.
I'm the other way around. I have the time to wait, but I don't want to wait.
No, yeah. Well, I wish that's where, like, with the fates, like, I wish that, like, if I was going to pick, like, a couple of small changes, I would make XP worth something at level cap. It could be anything, just something. Like, you can, give me...
That's one of the few things Destiny got right.
Yeah, exactly. They got it right. They give you a little, treasure box or whatever. Cool. It's like, let's make that happen. And then I would like to link it to some form of kind of like, progress that is not battle changing, right? Like imagine being able to reduce the cost of teleports by 1%, and you do it by Aetherite. Every time you level up past cap, you can just say 1% discounted rate to this Aetherite, and just as if you keep playing, you can then pick and choose. I'm just giving that as just an off the wall example.
Here's something else.
Go ahead.
Warframe, they have a bit of a way to do it too.
Yeah, Warframe's system. Well, it's a prestige-based system.
I'm not talking about that.
Okay.
You know there's syndicates?
What about the syndicates?
Based off of XP you would off of your thing and the XP you would have gained, you get like say 15% of that towards faction progress.
I mean, that's the same thing can be applied. Is that you could say every time you level up your, you get additional boosts to your other jobs. It's like, I don't know.
They could add a faction system.
That'd be nice.
Where it's just...
And we kind of have a faction system. We just don't use it. When you think of the grain companies. Also, then the free companies.
They could add something new to it that's exclusive to it. Say, purely cosmetic stuff. That you can't get any other way.
Yeah. Well, and we haven't even seen... like gear and stuff upgraded into the free and the grain company and forever. Like it's still like 55 or it's like it's like nothing.
And then when it comes to things such as Eureka, it's not designed for people that don't have a lot of time on their hands.
Well, and that's one of the things I think I forgot who I was talking with about Eureka in and of itself is that two things really hurt me to be able to take advantage of it. Yes, I could go solo, but I'll consider that maybe once I've got all of my controller guides out. Like I'm almost done. I'm Dragoon after this monk, and then it's like cool. That's all my jobs. So I will consider that at that time, the challenge log, because what limited time I have to play games. This is what I'm choosing to do. But the fact that I cannot level sync in there. And the fact that I cannot invite friends or people I'm playing with can't invite their friends into the instance, right? I think the problem will solve itself with technology, being that I think that when we look at it, the goal of the technology is that we're all playing this game, right? Like on Aether or whatever data center you're on.
Yeah.
That I'm in this zone, so I pull up this zone. This zone is shared by everybody on the data center, and we can already instance zones, and so all of a sudden you can say everybody on the data center.
By everyone on the data center, I think that would be a little much.
Well, they can instance the zones. They already have that technology. It's been instance Heavensward, and so that essentially they would basically force a volume of people into the zone. And some other games kind of do this already, and Guild Wars 2 is one of them, in which that they try to have an ideal zone population so that when you're out in the world, it feels alive. And so that if the data center shared, let's say this zone, and it said, let's say the best performance was 60 people in the zone, but it scales to 200 or whatever. But they just say, oh, okay, once you're at 60 to 80 people in a zone, then we're just going to move you into 2, and it would prioritize party members so that if you're in a party or whatever, then it's like, oh, okay, hey, you're all in zone 3, you're all in instance 3. But as far as the data center goes, it doesn't matter. Like that would actually solve our problem with maps, to where like you could do maps with anybody on the data center, because it's like, yeah, okay, cool, we're all going to this zone, we can all see each other in the zone. Because the zone itself is shared and is almost in itself an instance, and then we just make more of it. So that if, let's say, there were 300 people in this zone, there'd be at least 3 instances, and you could do that. You could see that. That's just my thought.
I actually have an idea that could work.
Yeah, hit me up.
Do you know about the game Neverwinter Online?
Yes,
Do you know how their zone system works?
I don't actually. I know I've played it, and so it was that I was in. It would tell me something about zones.
There's these different instances. Let's just say there's 50 of them for argument's sake.
Okay, yeah.
And each one, argument's sake, 120 people in each one.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's just say you pop in, you're on zone 3, your friend's on zone 5. Oh, let me go play with my friend. Click, change zone.
Yeah, and that's it. That's all it would be needed. It would just move you.
And then give people the number of players that are in each zone versus the cap.
Mm-hmm.
And then let them change at will.
Yeah, because let's say, oh, you're absolutely right. Because then it's like, maybe I don't want to play in a populated zone.
So,
you know?
like a channel system.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's that, and that's where I think the technology's going. Because, okay, let's look at Eureka, right? Why is Eureka instanced? It's because it wants to group people from the data center. Because if it was open world, it would be hard content to support long term. But it's designed as an open world content. Look, and so like you look at the weaknesses of it, and that's I can't invite anybody into the instance. Why? Because that's a weakness of our instance system. It wouldn't be a problem if it was just open world, and I could just say, "Oh, my friend's online. Hey, dude, we're here doing Eureka stuff. Oh, cool. Let me just pop in." You know, it's a zone. It's no big deal. The other thing is the level sync. And the fact is that those like that would be two things. And I think my hope is that that's something they can do in 5.0 because that would be huge. And then anyway, go ahead.
We're talking about applying this to Eureka.
Mm-hmm. I'm talking about applying it to the whole game, but Eureka would sorely benefit.
Start with Eureka, then put it to every zone. So.
Oh yeah. That would make that would be the most sensible.
That would make Fates relevant again.
It would make Fate. Well, they still need to make XP relevant because look, here's a Fate right here. Let's say I was a level cap. Why doesn't that Fate not? I want two things from Fates. If XP is valuable again, give me XP, and that means like okay, I'm just getting a loot box, you know, whatever. Just here's a treasure coffer, and here's some tomes. Basically here's a thank you. You know, just to kind of that actually solves the tanking and healing thing. Is like I can just go do that, and you know it's gonna give me some cool glamour. I don't care. What's up, Nightmare? But then also give me tomes. Give me some, you know, and it doesn't have to be a lot, and it should be balanced so that it's obviously not the most efficient. And then the last thing is give me those lock boxes from Eureka. Like the fact that Eureka and Diadem have these things, they should just be giving them out as a part of like the Fates anyway, all around the world. I think that'd be, in my mind, interesting. It would give me a reason to actually veer off from what I'm doing and go do a Fate. Especially if I'm in queue. So Zero, I don't know if he's still with us, you know, on the stream. But, you know, it's like, yeah, like, okay, if I'm in queue as a DPS, why the heck can I not... Actually, I'm not in queue as a DPS. Why can't I not, you know, I'll be running, you know, Fates and be getting some, you know, tomes and XP's worth something. You know, there's no value. There's no reason to do it right now. It's content that we discard at the moment.
When it comes to the Fates, with how much you need Poetics, and every update, Poetics become more and more valuable in mass quantities.
Okay, I'm curious. Like, how do they become valuable?
Some amount of Poetics.
And I'd be fine with that. I'd like to see Poetics to be also converted into the lowest new tomestone in some small fashion. Meaning, I can take 2,000 Poetics and turn it into 20 creation right now. You know, just like there's some value there for me. Right now, Poetics, like I have nothing below 60. I have no value in Poetics.
Here's something else that I would also note. Me, personally,
hold that.
The cap.
Hold 1 second, Midnight. I'm hearing my kid. 1 second. What's up, Peter? Dad. What's up? What do you need? You hungry? You want a toy? Well, then what do you want? You want a show? We'll talk about a show after quiet time, okay?
Okay.
Alright, close the door.
I'm gonna do a show later.
I'd like to watch a movie with you if
Yeah, I'm free.
you're free. You're free? It's a date?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have a date and you and I watch a movie.
Yeah. And we can also buy. I like to come around.
Maybe some popcorn?
Yeah.
I like it.
I
Alright.
pretend we're having a date right here.
Alright, well it's still quiet time, okay? So see you in a little bit. Alright. I'm back, Midnight. Go ahead and finish your thought. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
But yeah, for example, when it comes to all the Poetic stuff you need, maybe not everyone's going for this, but
Yeah.
I have a friend who's actually going for every single relic.
That's an admirable goal. You know, goals are good.
Do you know how much poetics that takes?
Probably a ton. I would agree with you on increasing the cap. Same thing with wolf marks. I'm at 20 of 20. You know, I'm always capped on wolf marks. I have nothing to purchase. Nothing that I want.
The main reason I say for poetics that they should at least get their cap increased. They have so many things they go to, and it's only getting more and more stuff.
Yeah, and especially the next expansion. Like, you know, poetics will be the thing that gets you the 70. They get the cap 70 stuff.
Not even next expansion. Tuesday, they get you the next level gear.
Poetics?
Yeah.
Wait, what did I miss?
Creation gear is going to be poetic gear.
Creation gear is going to be poetic gear? I thought mendacity, like, I said, we're getting Genesis. So
Yeah,
you can use poetics to get creation?
I think they did that for Heaven's War, for like the Hellfire set.
I don't remember that, but I mean, I'm not saying y'all are wrong. That actually means poetics are valuable again for me. And that'd be great because all of a sudden I can take...
Genta gear, I think it's called.
Yeah, that'd be great because then I can gear up, you know, a lot of jobs to, you know, oh man, if that's the case, then I'm happy. But yes, I would agree that the cap should be removed, or at least increased. Like, but here's the thing. Here's the thing I would say about increasing the cap. Make it a quest. Make it tie it into progression. So I talked about leveling. I talked about leveling, right? So it's that as soon as you're at cap, why isn't there some kind of, you know, I would say Paragon system for lack of a better word. But then with that Paragon system, why can't you use a point? You get you can't affect battle. You can't sit here and say you have to be Paragon level 1,000 in order to do the new raid. That just can't. That won't work in this game. But what would work was, hey, you leveled up and then you used a point and now you can carry 2,100, and then you leveled up again and now you can carry 2,200. And so that instead of just freely opening the gates, tie it into the kind of a thank you, a quality of life improvement, so that you as a player get to choose. What's up, Chemistral? You as a player get to choose whether you want, you know, we're gonna do teleportation cost, increased movement speed, increased mount speed, increased capacity for all of these different things. Like they could really just, and then yeah, but make it small. I mean, it shouldn't be substantially insane. But that way you can just pick and choose. You know, that's what I want, man. Like, because then because like I was talking with Chili on the podcast, and his frustration is that he's capped on everything. He's done all the Savage. Like, he loves this game, and the game right now doesn't give him a reason to play because he's done everything. And I'm not in that boat. I have not done everything, but the game shouldn't require me to do everything. I'm playing the game. I'm playing at my pace, and that's another topic that we can definitely talk about. I think it's important. But in his case, like, it's his frustration is like, man, like, I want to play the game. The game doesn't want me to play it.
Fair enough.
Juvenile. That's the one. Yeah, perfect. And so, yeah, like, to your point, yes, let's increase. Let's, you know, and then you either tie it to a quest or you know, I love when they do that. I love when they kind of give you that those kind of things. The fact they let you increase mount speed is nice, but I would have I would like it if it was tied to XP, because XP becomes so irrelevant. And then you look at the challenge log, and the majority of the rewards for challenge log stuff is XP, and it's like, oh, here's this, you know, do you need it? No. Why? It keeps giving it to me, but I don't use it.
Another thing, I think it wouldn't be the most valuable way, but when you level up past 70, a full level's worth of XP, you get an item that you can trade for any materia.
Yeah.
Any one materia per level.
Exactly. You're
it's
freaking
not much,
right.
But
It isn't, and it doesn't have to be much, and it really shouldn't, because from a balance.
You mean degrade the price of materia than it already has?
Well, they throw materia. Like, materia actually used to be the answer to the problem of XP right now, because you would spirit bond to get Matera, you would Spirit Bond, and you would turn that gear into Matera, and that was the XP at cap. And we've taken that away because they give out Matera now, like it's going out of style. But like, so
also to note,
go ahead. It could be Matera, and it could be another couple items. So basically, as a player, like if you had to pick a 3, really interesting items, then you pick it. So it wouldn't necessarily just degrade one market. You'd say, okay, like maybe here's some stuff that you can kind of pick and choose.
because my friend is doing those old relic quests from, I'm pretty sure it's ARR.
Mm-hmm.
He's running into a problem. Materia. It's damn near impossible to find grade 3 materia.
Oh yeah.
Grade 3 is actually worth more than grade 5.
Oh, because of the rarity. It's all about like where's my stuff.
Nobody spirit bonds.
Right.
Nobody. Nobody converts their gear, and it's like, why not? Well, one reason I had just thought about is that when I was when I first came back to the game at around level 30-ish,
Yeah.
right? After I burn out before and all, and I joined my current FC. Everyone would tell me, do not bother with materia until you're level 50 minimum.
Yeah.
Then when I got to level 50, do not bother with materia until you're level 60. Then not till you're level 70. If I'm not bothering with it till level 70, I don't need to worry about getting it before level 70.
Right. Well,
So
yeah.
why should I spirit bond anything? Why should I convert anything? Right?
Mm-hmm. Well, and if the game's not teaching you about it, then it's like you're not going to know about it.
And it's not even that the game's not teaching, it's that the game has literally been set up that it's pointless to worry about it. You're wasting your time, you're wasting your energy, you're wasting your money if you worry about doing this now rather than just waiting. That's the feeling that everyone keeps on telling me when it comes to that stuff. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
so it's a waste to bother with it, so why should I bother it before level cap?
Well, yeah, that's what. Like, that's what kind of what I've said about the game for a while is that it's sitting on a mountain of potential energy, because there's these ideas and these systems in place that just need a little bit more love. We haven't seen, we haven't seen the like free company. Like, why is the free company rank capped at 8? Why does that just not go up to infinity? It's like. And it could be rank, it could be level. It's just like, okay, like the free. It's interesting because I was really excited about free companies. Like okay, we got a house, and then they haven't really done much with them to the point where link shells are far more valuable than the free company.
It depends.
Okay, like there's obviously situations where that is not the rule, but it is the situation in which that I have more conversation with link shells. And more engagement with link shells because I think there's less pressure involved with a link shell. It's just a chat channel, and then I'm glad for what they've been putting into it. Because the crossworld link shell is hugely valuable to me. Because it's like all of a sudden it's like, hey, yeah, let's all get together and play this thing.
Yeah, that's great and all, but I will put up an example.
Okay.
When I've been in link shells, I see no chat.
Well, do you
When
see
I've
no
been in
chat
big
because they also haven't like they don't really have any real
Yeah.
tools?
Big
You
FCs, no chat. It's the smaller ones that I actually see people actually having any kind of real conversation.
Mm-hmm. Why haven't we seen with modern technology that a Discord integration with our free companies and our link shells?
Yeah.
And I say that in light of that, I thought the companion app was going to solve some of these problems, and it doesn't. And so then it's like, gosh, it'd be cool, if instead of trying to build our own thing, how about we actually integrate where people can take advantage? Because like you say, there's no chat. It's like, well, where are we chatting right now? We're chatting in Discord. It's like so. Like literally, sometimes my message is like, hey, I'm hanging out in Discord. Just come hang out here. And the game, that's one of the also interesting things about it is that I can't talk to you in Eureka while we're engaged in combat, because this game is not like 11 in which the combat was slow. You know, like I'm actively having to do skills. Otherwise, I can talk to you, but I'm not healing you, or I'm healing you, and it's really quiet. But it's really interesting to see, though, in Eureka, just the shout chat, like the fact that there seems to be obviously more communication in that style of gameplay, and so I think that, you know, back to kind of the link shell, like why you might not see that is that there's no notification when anybody signs online as a part of my link shell. I can see friends with a different color. You know, it would be really cool is to be able to see and identify people who are in the same link shells as me, who are in my free company. You know, it's like designated also on the mini map. So when I go into a zone, I'd be like, oh my gosh, you know, John's right over there, and then I can just jump. And I've done that whenever I see, especially somebody that I know that's in my link shell. I see it all more on my friends list, and so I engage with them. I'm like, oh, hey, I didn't know he was on, and I know he's in my link shell. I'll go ahead and say hi. And the fact that like I can't have a link shell message be like, what's up, everybody? Welcome. You know, we see that you, and then you as a player can choose if you want to sign in and be, you know, let that be notified, or if you want to sign in quietly. So because sometimes you're like, I just want to get on. I want to kind of, you know, it's like I just want to play. I don't want to, you know, like I'm not feeling very social today.
Fair enough. Something I will say, my biggest problem with the app.
Oh, yeah.
The companion app. My biggest problem. It's not the functionality. It's not the features. It's not all the flaws that you've pointed out.
Mm-hmm.
It's that it runs on nothing.
I've
tried device after device.
Oh, you haven't even been able to get it to work.
It won't download on any device. It's not compatible with any devices.
Wow.
It's very few devices are actually compatible with it. So it's like, wait, you're going to make an app, going to try and charge people for it. You're going to create real rewards for doing it, for using the app, but you're not going to make it compatible with anything.
Right.
Except for the newest and greatest technology that not everyone can afford.
Yeah, I know that Sparta was saying he can't even get it to run like on his Android. He has like kind of where you emulate Android on the PC or something like that.
Yeah,
and
I tried it there.
Yeah, he's like, it doesn't work there.
I've tried it on Kindle because I have a couple of Kindle Fires.
Yeah, it works.
I tried it on my
it quote unquote works on mine. I don't use it though. It's like there's no like when I first heard about kind of the monetization. What's up, Azrael? I was like, okay, cool. Like, yeah. Like maybe there I'm not understanding the translation, but then it's like, okay, yeah, let me talk to my friends, and so that I thought like, oh, I could see link shell messages and I could see free company messages, so that I could be like, oh, hey, you're online and stuff like that. Cool. Oh yeah, I can't be in the app while I'm in the game. That makes no sense. But then it's like, no, I can message you directly to your phone, and you can message me directly on my phone. I have Discord for that, and yeah. I don't have the in-game stuff. What's up, sweetheart? Oh, do you need to go to the restroom? Okay. Okay, I'll be right there. My keyboard's not typing anymore. All right, let's say welcome back. Oh, there it goes. Boom. So Azrael saying the companion was a great idea. Yeah.
Flawed execution.
Right, and so then the question is, and that, you know, all of this is all part of that greater narrative. It's like, where did it go wrong? You know,
get some of the idea with making it compatible with new technology, but majority of people, their phones, their tablets, they're at least 4 years old.
Mm-hmm. Ideally, like a lot of people, you know, thankfully don't want to go into debt, and these things aren't cheap. That's why Nintendo's own reliance on it is really annoying. Like, okay, you wanna chat and be in voice and stuff like that in these games, you gotta use your phone. Like, come again?
For something also to note, this is a very real example. What, 3 years ago? Maybe 4 years ago now? My mom finally replaced her phone that she had for over 30 years.
Oh, wow.
and she's gone through like 5 or 6 phones since.
Wow.
So it's like, you had this phone for decades and it works fine, so why are you replacing it? Is something that
It's the FOMO lifestyle. You know, the fear of missing out.
So then I'll have people, this drives me crazy. I've actually had somebody tell me that they're poor, they're broke, they never had money, but they get the newest iPhone the day it comes out.
Well, you know,
every year.
Even that's why I actually have a problem with Microsoft's all access plan. It's like you go look at the fine print, and it's like you know, it's like they can charge you like up to 30% interest. You know, and it's like, oh my gosh, like. You want to get you know, it's like I get you might want, you know, and like I get it, like I don't get everything I want, and to take on debt, I mean that's what a lot of the people do. Like we are on a we're lucky enough we buy our phones outright, we save up the money, but we're also on a prepaid plan, so we only pay like maybe $65-$75 a month for all of our cell phones. That's the service plan, internet, and all that. And if we were on contract, outside of just the cost of the phones, like they charge you like another $30 a month more for being on contract, for nothing else but the fact that they can. And so they make that money back. You're not getting a discount on your phone. You at most are getting maybe a couple bucks off, but at the end of the day, they're making far more money off of you. And then if you're always upgrading, like imagine like if you're just paying $200 a month, which I've heard people have that kind of bill, like $200 a month for their cell phone. Like that's $2,400 a year over the course of 2 years. You're talking about almost
and
$5,000.
And then after 2 years, you're getting the new
and
model.
Well, they want to keep
you.
They want to keep you in that payment. They want you used to that payment so that you keep it up. Same thing. That's why with all access, it's like, okay, like yeah, you know you get this, you do this payment, you get this Xbox. All right, you know it's like they get you used to that, you know, and they train you in that, and all of that, every dollar that just is coming out of your wallet every month, you know, that just keeps you like, you know, you can't go tell your boss to go F off, you know, if he's being a jerk, you know, if they're trying to get you to do something illegal. If you owe money, if you know, you know, it's like you're just gonna be, you know, I guess, you know, you're just not free.
Yeah. That's why when I went to get my latest cell phone, right? My sister actually recommended I go to, I think it was an AT&T store nearby. I go there, it's like $100 was the cheapest phone they had, and then it was like $50 minimum a month plan, and it's like, I'll go over here to Metro PCS. I went over there, got my phone for $20, $30 a month, period.
Nice. It becomes cheaper, you know. I'm just kind of rallying against all these little fees, man. It says as he plays a subscription-based game.
Yeah.
I get my value out of it. Like, you know, like look at it, like with Netflix. Like how much game? How much game do I play?
How much do you pay per hour a month? Right.
The same thing with any game. Like if I buy a $60 game, do I get $60 worth of like, you know, playtime and enjoyment? You know, kind of like we kind of look at a conversion of $1 per hour. So like at $15, I think I actually pay less because we buy it in bulk and we're legacy. So let's just say $10. You know, it's like, do I get 10 hours of enjoyment a month out of Final Fantasy 14? Oh, I get far more than that. You know, it's like at least I get, you know, probably when I'm playing more actively, you know, 30 to 40 hours of game time, you know, a month. When I'm playing like, you know, over the last year, maybe it's been about 10 a month that I've been able to really kind of commit to the game, which isn't, you know, what I want because I really enjoy it, but it's just like I had to go work 60 hours, you know, a week to get the money to fix the house.
Final Fantasy 14 was the first subscription game I was ever actually willing to pay monthly for.
Okay. Did you play any free-to-play MMOs before that then?
Tons. I've gone through over 100.
Oh, wow. So yeah, you've definitely seen a lot of different ideas.
I played one other subscription-based MMO, but I got because they offered it a lifetime subscription.
Then is that
They went
The
free to
DC
play.
Universe
Yep.
online. Yeah.
I was looking for a superhero game at the time.
I thought that was a really interesting idea. You know, it's like, yeah, you just gotta pay a big upfront fee, and then, you know, I was like, oh, that's cool. But then, bummer, right? Because it's like, oh.
But they still
Do you have
a
benefits or
subscription.
whatever?
Yeah, they have a subscription thing now, but as a lifetime member, you get those all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Though one of the benefits you actually have to log in every month for, and that's the free cash shop currency.
Okay.
Which, if I calculate all the cash shop currency I actually got, it's more than the subscription cost.
Yeah. Well, that's their gamble. That's where the value is for them. They get the money up front over the course of time. But
But it
more
was
and more
also
companies
doing the
companies
roll-up
want that regular, constant revenue, because that keeps them in that constant contact and having that constant
Yeah.
relationship. Because it's like, even for me, like, as I build out apps, I don't build out, apps where somebody's gonna have to pay me. Like, oh, you want this app? You need to pay me $50,000. It's like, no. You want this app? $10 a month. It's like, cool, yeah, pop, and then it's like, we'll make improvements, and I'll get more customers, and they're all paying $10 a month, and it's like, all of a sudden, boom, I've got an epic a revenue stream. It's like, that's the goal.
Yeah, I get that, and sometimes they offer those upfront costs because they're new and they're trying to get funding.
Oh yeah,
to do the cool stuff,
yeah.
and it makes sense. It works.
It's gonna be neat to see. Are you going to FanFest in November?
No, don't
Okay.
really have money.
I hear that, man.
I don't
I
have
just got a
time
new
here.
video card.
It's time for you, Sin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thankfully,
I literally
we were
just got a
able
new
to pull
video
it off.
card
So,
this week.
oh, a new video card? Did you go? What'd you get?
GeForce GTX 1050 Ti.
1050 Ti. Cool.
It was in my price range,
Yeah.
and my previous video card was like 6 years old.
Well, you just got a massive upgrade. I'm gonna sit on. I'm actually because he's almost dead. I'm gonna sit on it.
Or whatever. So, double the VRAM plus it's newer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they announced those like 2010s or whatever, etc. I have a 1080, which is really nice.
Nice.
It helps with like the fact that I play and stream, because it's like, okay, cool, we can. It's the video card's heavily what helps, I guess, keep that stream. We also have really good internet here in North Texas, so it's like, yes.
I have good internet.
What's your speeds?
I think right now it's 250 up, or no, not
Ooh, wow.
250 down. My bad. On up, I don't really pay for upload since I don't upload.
Yeah.
I think it's only like 20 upload.
Still, that's awesome. We're 75, 75. So 75 up, 75 down.
Yeah, I was paying 70 a month for just 155 down. And I wanted to pay that for the stuff, that way we'd have the bandwidth, because we don't have cable.
Yeah, we don't either. We got rid of that a long time ago.
We have a bunch of internet video services we use, and for the most part we're happy.
Yeah. Tank's down too. Healer's down. Yeah, like with I have a hard time like sitting here and going and saying like we got Netflix, and like I watch, that's mostly what I enjoy. But I did pay for a month of CBS All Access so I could marathon Star Trek Discovery.
Something I will point out that I think has to be considered when it comes to the subscription model of MMOs, is that some people, they have trouble they're used to, let me buy it, pay one price now, pay for the DLC, and own it. I can play it whenever I want. It's hard for them to wrap around, oh, I'll pay this to own it, and then I'll pay this every month, but I'm getting new and more content constantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I can definitely get behind that because it's like, oh yeah, you obviously see the value when you play the game, because yeah, it's like, hey, you got new dungeons, you got new things to do, you know, I definitely enjoy that. I'd like to see the subscription model evolve a little bit with Final Fantasy though. Personally, like, you know how we have the endless free trial. Personally, I would like to see where if you buy the game, let's say you've actually bought the game, you no longer can do the endless free trial because you actually have given Square money. I like to see it to where, like, if you're not subbed, that's okay. You can't access your retainers. You can't. There's certain things you couldn't do. You couldn't do any of the newest content. Like, let's just say, you know, from an ARR perspective.
Here's what I would do.
Go ahead.
When 5.0 comes out,
Yeah.
once that releases, you own ARR, you play for free.
Yeah.
For ARR.
Yeah. You can do all the ARR content, and then you want to be,
Free of
if you're
charge.
sub, well, right. I mean, you own it. Like, I wouldn't say like anybody can just come in. That's the free trial. I say if you purchase it, welcome. You can play ARR, you know, for free. Like, level all your jobs to 50 if you want. You can't do retainer stuff. Like, I wouldn't want anybody who's not subbed to be able to come in and mess with the market. But hold on. The idea though is then the evolution where you can pay for subscription time with Gil, because then you have the kind of the WoW token subscription that they've set up, because that seems to be very, very successful.
I'm not going to say don't allow people to do anything with the market, but minimize their involvement on the market.
Okay, yeah, and you could say you're like, okay, you have your retainer, yeah, and then maybe
Buy only, no selling.
Yeah, you can purchase, because then, you know, there's demand there, because that way that Gil is going into people who are subscribed.
Yeah, you could also argue it that they have a lot fewer slots on the market.
True. Yeah, it's just like, hey, here's your one slot, you can sell one thing. You know, okay, cool.
You get one retainer and maybe say 5 or 10 slots on the market. That's it.
Yeah, I think those would be kind of a very nice addition, because then you can go and you can enjoy. Like, I could log in, I could get like the game's updated, I could hang out with my friends, and then it's like, what's new, guys? Tell me what's changed in the game. Like, oh yeah, the newest patch is out, and oh man, that sounds fun. Let me go ahead and just subscribe. Oh, I've got the Gil. Let me go ahead and buy, you know, a token off the market. And then also as a player, like, we have the cash shop. It'd be hugely valuable where if somebody wants to, you know, buy a token and sell it for Gil, you could take that and use it for your subscription, or you could be like, I really want those dice, or I really want that mount. You know, it's like, cool. You get it.
You want to know something?
Go ahead.
Something that I find really irritating with Square Enix, and it's vaguely related to the whole membership token.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the whole debacle with the wedding promise bracelets?
Where they were buying and selling those things and using that to trade Gil?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what that was.
And how Square Enix called it out as real money trading.
Yeah. And that's... No, it's not.
And it kind of irks me because, for example, right, this really irks me because, let's just say you buy a gold promise bracelet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then because it's on sale, you figure, I'll do that. Then you find somebody, they paid for the platinum. Either you're making them suffer, or you're going to go out and buy the platinum, and then you wasted your money on the gold.
Yeah.
So that needs to be fixed.
Yep.
Let it be sold.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is,
Gil,
Yoshi P said
I
that...
don't see the problem.
Well, yeah, I don't either. Yoshi P said that they were going to watch the WoW token system and see how, you know, and then it's like, if it's a good system, they do it too. And it's like, yes, do it. Just like I was saying, make XP worthwhile, make Gil worthwhile. You know?
And here's something I have actually seen that could make them more money. If the cash shop was integrated in the game itself.
It will be. It has to be. Like that. Honestly, I think that's what we'll see that in 5.0.
Let me finish on this.
Oh, please, go ahead.
Because I've seen this happen time and time again. people will buy sooner, quicker, less thinking about it if it's already in the game because it's too easy for them to do it without that whole second guessing on it.
Correct.
Because they don't have to go through menu of web pages to buy it. No, click, I own it.
Oh yeah, and the fact is that as they continue to add stuff to the cash shop, it's only natural that its evolution is going to be in game. And if it's in game, might as well also do the other economy things that are just going to make sense to the overall game. Because people are like, oh, people should just earn bajillions of gil, and the thing is, gil isn't even that valuable. It's not like I can really do end game progression with gil.
You can't if you do week 1.
Only then.
I will say this.
Only then.
Like
that's not that I wouldn't call that end game progression. That's just like, all right.
I've noticed something.
Yeah, go ahead.
For example, you have gil out the butt. You don't need it.
I have no need for it, and the reason I only have 4 and not the I think I had 35. I have given most of it away, and I went shopping on a shopping spree and just bought everybody like when it launched all the weapons because I was like doing some guides and stuff like that. And it's like I'm gonna have the best weapon. It's like cool.
That's cool.
It was just like I don't I have no need for this anymore.
I don't like the crafting and gathering in this game. It's great if people enjoy that. Great for them. It's a nice system, but I do not enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't make money that way. So far, I have done no maps.
Yeah, player map.
So
I love maps. Like maps, like that's what I'm saying. Like Uzanar
I'm not
seems like
making money that way.
Right.
My main way of making money is roulette.
Mm-hmm. You tank, right? Or tank you heal?
I heal. I play all jobs, but in doing that, you see the problem I start to run into?
Mm-hmm.
I never have enough gil.
Yeah.
When I'm doing dungeons, I end up cashing out all the gear I get for the most part.
For seals to buy items to sell.
Yeah, and then I basically make pennies on the dollar for that.
And that's why I think it's like people. Some people have more time than they have money, and some people have more money than they have time. It's like, well, let me get in. Let me go ahead and buy a full gear of raid ready gear, so I can get in and jump in quickly. It's like, yeah, let me because I can only play and everybody's situation in life changes over time, so it's not like it's got to be it's always a 1-to-1. But yeah, maybe it's like I'm gonna go ahead and spend $20. I'm gonna get a token. And I'm gonna put it up on the market so I can get several million gil that I can go and I can gear up. I can do these different things, and then also now I'm also competing against, gil sellers, and that whole market. Like the best thing that happened was when Yoshi P was on the North American server and he realized how often we're getting spammed by sellers. And then he's like, we've been asking for a right click and report. If people abuse it, you're going to see the report. You're going to be like, why do they right click and report this guy and then get them in trouble? But once he was on the North American server and he's getting spammed, buy gil, da-da. It's like, now we have a right click and report, and I don't remember the last time I got gil spammed. I don't. Honestly, it's been, I think, at least a couple of months.
I only get the spam in Limsa, or however the hell you say that name.
Limsa.
Yeah.
That's the only place I ever see any of it.
Right, and I haven't been to a city in a while.
Right there.
I haven't been in the main city in a little bit, but it's that. Just on that note, I used to get it all the time. And I would go and I would take time. Okay, write down their name. Go in here, system, support. Okay, file a contact us for. It was such a process, and it's like, okay, I'm doing it, and it's like, all right, I'm doing it, guys. I'm doing what you tell me to do. And then it's like, can I just, if you right click report, just have that system just gather the message in which that is wrong, and then there you go. And that's that's cut down. I think made it also they can get more reports, they can respond quicker, they can actually see what's happening, and they can shut it down. It's like, all right.
Yep.
And so that's what I'm saying. Same thing with the whole okay, well, you want to even shut that down further. the reason they exist, the reason why somebody would take the time to do that is because there is money to be made, and they're making money. If there was no money to be made, if they couldn't make a cent, it wouldn't matter whatsoever. They wouldn't do any of it. And then,
for example, I'm not saying Square Enix should do this, but an option to deal with gold seller that I've noticed has worked.
Mm-hmm.
When you have the first party doing it.
Yeah.
It cuts out the third party. They have no way to make money when the first party is where everyone's doing their business because it's trustworthy, it's reliable, they know they're not going to get screwed.
Mm-hmm.
It's secure.
Hey, what's up, McMountain? McCleaner Mountain. Is the big ERP as big as a deal as the others claim for 14? ERP. And then on Midgard Limsa is the only place you see. So Abu says the only place they see it is on Limsa. I guess that's the good shipping port town. Sorry, Mountain. ERP. What? I'm not. That's for whatever reason. It's not registering.
Erotic roleplay.
Is the erotic? I don't know if it's a. Okay, thank you. I don't. Yeah, he's confirming that. I don't know if it's a. Is it a problem whatsoever? Roleplay is roleplay. Like.
I
I've seen some of it get a little crazy.
You okay?
I'm ready.
Okay. Well, I'm done. I'm gonna take a break and
I want to play too.
You want to play too? Well, we can go play. You want to play some Dragon Quest with me?
I want to play that.
You want to play some Final Fantasy?
Yeah, and we can also play Dragon Quest. We can play Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest.
I like it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
First this
My big deal. I don't know, man. Like it's if you're consulting, if it's not against the rules of the terms of the service, and it's not necessarily like bothering other people. Like, you know, if I'm out there, like if I'm out here in this world and I'm saying, you know, very like things that I wouldn't say obviously in front of my daughter. Go ahead and take the control, sweetie. You want to run around? Yeah. Go ahead and do that while we wrap up the stream. Then yeah, but it's like, okay, you're doing whatever. Like, who cares? That's just my personal opinion, because it's like, honestly, it's like I don't personally find any issue. I have never run into it. I think it's, I don't know. That's just where I fall. And I'm also just to clarify. Like I'm a Christian man. Like I believe, I go to church. Like I run my life by a certain set of standards. But I don't, you know, I don't try to enforce that onto others. I don't, and that's just where I come from. Midnight, you're trying to say something. I keep cutting you off. Go ahead.
No worries. Here's how weird it gets with the.
Keep it clean, but go ahead.
An FC member ran into FC House, right?
Mm-hmm.
A Lala SMM club.
Okay. So he just went into somebody else's house, and they're doing that.
Yeah.
So.
It just seemed a little weird.
Yeah, but it's not something. It's not. Go ahead, Sin. Go ahead.
Just take mental now and don't go there again.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, and maybe they should set theirs to private invite only. Like, you know, but like, okay, it's not something that I would engage with.
Yeah.
But it's when you're talking about role playing, like playing roles and characters and things like that, you know, it's
I see no problem with it. I just find some stuff to be a little weird.
I think it's natural, like, you know, but then the question would be, is that what was weird to you might not be weird to me, or vice versa. You know, it's like, I really hate peanut butter. Like, I'm not joking. I think it's disgusting. That's weird. I mean, the greater majority of people enjoy peanut butter. Like, does that mean?
I don't like the texture.
See, okay, you're with me. We both dislike
the
peanut butter.
feeling in my mouth is weird.
I hate the taste. Like, I hate the taste, the smell. You know, honestly, if
don't
ever
like
elected president, I would banish it. No, I wouldn't. But it's like, yeah, you're writing it. Do you know how to fly? Hold down X, and you can fly in the sky. Check it out. And you can move around in three-dimensional space. So I hear what you're saying. So even to McMountain, it's like, is it as a big deal? I would question what you mean by deal. Like, is it a problem? Like, nothing that I'm aware of.
Does it happen? Yes.
Yeah. There's been even stories
about. No.
you know, and that's something that actually a piece of content I'm working on for the channel, because over the last couple of weeks, a lot of people who are parents that watch like our content on YouTube have come in and say, hey, like, you know, you play games with Maddie, like what would you recommend for getting in and playing games? And so I've kind of been thinking about putting like a kind of a list, and there's some stuff like, especially with research with kids and screen time. So all in all, it's a little bit more involved. I don't know if everybody on the channel now we're flying in the sky. Is going to identify with it, because not everybody is essentially you know, a parent, nor do they need to be. But you know, so from a parent's guide to getting into gaming with your kids. But then the same kind of thing is that I'm also looking at like, well, you know, as somebody who enjoys 14, what's the parent's guide to introducing your kid to Final Fantasy 14? Like, is it because there is that, and that's actually, you know, one of the things that is you know, when it comes down to it, is that the game doesn't necessarily have it, but the game also, we should be free enough in this game, in this online interaction world, just like with any chat room. Yeah, it's like, yeah, if you want to go and kind of create your own world and story and things like that,
go for it.
Go for it. And it's the fact that you know, that they're adding in role playing features as to your house, so you could see as a house, like, this is an RP house, this, you know, role play house, this is and here's the kind of content that you can expect. I think is a way to help address.
They should
some
really increase the market on houses.
Well, people are going to complain about everything, Mountain. Like,
yeah, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying there should be more house availability, period. Whether it's for RP or otherwise.
I want them to fix housing, because I'm tired of people talking about it as a part of spending Yoshi P's time. That's the people like you know, like, oh yeah, like off of the why Final Fantasy 14 is dying. Well, why the Final Fantasy 14 is dying video. People are like, no. It's like, honestly, I'm doing this because I'm fighting for the game to be better, because I'm tired of hearing about housing and glamour. And not that housing and glamour are anything that are bad. I want solutions to content that would keep me logged in and enjoy.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything against against what you're saying there.
Yeah,
I believe housing needs to get fixed, but it's not the highest priority out there.
My fix and my solution for housing is to give people the ability to garden in their apartments or even inside their rooms. That's the one thing in my mind that is limited by the fact that you can't buy houses. You can't participate in the gardening. What did you say, Maddie? What did you say?
Try win.
You want to go this way? You want to close the map? You want to go that way?
Yeah, to the top of that.
To the top of the tower? To the top of the porch? To the top of the wall?
Oh god, the Jenga tower.
Jenga tower. The anyway, guys. I mean, thanks for Midnight. Thanks Sin for hanging out on voice. Thanks Mountain, Abu, and then Zero for hanging out in chat. Matt, if you're still with us and you're still online, hit me back real quick before I wrap the stream so I can get you access. I'm gonna go play some Dragon Quest with Maddie and spend some time with the family this afternoon. I might be on more later. I don't know yet, so I can't commit to my schedule.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you know, it's a good life I lead. I am very blessed. But yeah, sometimes it's like, man, what do you want to do? Honestly, I would love to just kick back and play some video games and not have any responsibilities. But I got to go put together a crib today. I got to go. I'm gonna go watch. The Incredibles. Is that what we're doing? Yeah. All right.
Tomorrow.
Go ahead.
When it comes to the games for kids, Spyro better be on that list.
You know, I've never played a Spyro game.
It was one of my first games.
Oh, really?
Outside of, like, I played Mario, like Super Mario Brothers, but that was because my older sister.
When does the Spyro trilogy come out? Like, it's coming out pretty soon, right?
November.
Okay, cool. I'm looking forward to the new.
Postponed.
Okay, yeah, because I remember hearing some people like, where is it? Anyway, I gotta run. I'm gonna go take care of the kiddos.
For family games, I would say Mario Party. Make